Hey y'all, happy Friday. So, picking up again, looking at Ephesians or digging into Ephesians 6:12, and it's the why we wear the armor. For we are not wrestling with flesh and blood, contending only with physical opponents, but against the despotism, against powers, against the master spirits who are the world rulers of this present darkness, against the spirit forces of wickedness in the heavenly, the supernatural sphere. That's the Amplified Version. So, one thing that I thought was really, really interesting is that this word wrestle here in the Greek is the only time that word is used. In looking at Strong's Concordance and taking it to Thayer's, in the Bible, in the New Testament, this Ephesians 6:12 is the only time that word is used. It's really interesting, I thought. And so to define what it means to wrestle, a contest between two in which each endeavors to throw the other and is decided when the victor is able to prostrate his antagonist. The victor is able to prostrate flat down on the ground his antagonist. Now, some interesting things about this definition and to wrestle, and that was from Thayer's Greek lexicon. So, a contest between two in which each endeavors to throw the other. Now, there's a lot of different ways we can look at that. So, I went to Merriam-Webster, and it says to contend, to trip or throw an opponent down or off balance. Now, I really liked that, throwing them or throw them off balance, because if we are off balance, how well are we able to defend ourselves? We're very, very vulnerable. And so this to wrestle, the opponents each endeavors to throw the other, throw them down, throw them off balance. Other definitions are to combat with force, to engage in or as if in a violent or determined struggle, to move or maneuver with force or force with difficulty. And so we do well know that, and that the enemy comes in. We talked about this last year in Psalm 91, those Fowler's snare and the way he tries to catch the bird. And the enemy, go back even again to verse 11, where it says, he's put on the armor that you may be able to successfully stand up against all the strategies and deceits of the devil. Well, deceits, throwing somebody off balance, throwing them off course, to trip them up, those things, that's how the enemy works. But if we are clothed in the armor of God, I'm so excited to get into the pieces, but all of this background information is very important. Then he is going to have a very difficult time throwing us off course, throwing us off balance, getting our eyes focused on what we see in the natural, fighting with flesh and blood, rather than knowing that there is a spiritual battle. So let's talk about that for our next few seconds. Flesh and blood, what is that? It's man's living body. Flesh is a living creature because it's possessed by having a body of flesh. A man of natural or physical origin. That is flesh and blood. We know that. Another person. We are not contending only with another person. It's not what we're looking at. Though there is a battle, or there are situations that you have to deal with between people, there is a spirit behind it, and it is the spiritual battle. Or let's just say, we have to fight the battles in the spiritual realm, period. You can't look at the other person to fight your battle. and plan your battle or fight your battle based on what you see in the other person. And I know that is not easy. It's just not easy. Because the enemy would have us to pit person against person. Do you see that going on right now? And that my battle is with you, but my battle's not with you. There are things that we may need to work out, but my battle's not with you. My battle's in the spiritual world. It's in the spirit realm. What things do I need to handle in the spirit realm? What do I need to handle in myself in order to be able to clearly see the battle? It's not with a person, a man of natural or physical origin. We're not just wrestling against flesh and blood. And that's why the armor is necessary. And so next week, we are going to start digging into some of that, that spiritual battle and what that looks like. And it's just, this is so rich. I pray that you're getting something out of it. And I'll see you tomorrow. So that's Saturday, July 4th. We'll still probably stick with our 9 o'clock. If anything changes, I'll let you know. Bye, y'all.